Okay, this is Eric at RC Monster Garage. Today we're doing something different. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because you're gonna need to know what we're doing. We're making carbon fiber. I'm gonna make a carbon fiber presentation table. My rotating table got dirty and I decided to make it out of carbon fiber. So you don't have to build your entire table out of carbon fiber just for the purpose of showing it. You can actually just cover the top layer. So what I have here is a carbon fiber. I have entire roll. You do not need to have entire roll. You need to have a piece that will cover the item that you want to cover. For example, this is it's 15-inch diameter. So I'm gonna just cut a square and explain how to do that and start ripping it up. So you can order online a small piece, a carbon fiber and epoxy, mix it and do what I'm doing here right now. Stay tuned, I'm showing what we need to start. Not really necessary, but I show a trick with it. You need like a spray, a glue spray. It's adhesive, you spray it in order to prevent from the carbon to move and it's keep the nice shape of the carbon. Additional, you need, I got those tabletop epoxy. You can use those with the carbon if you're doing something like as a presentation table, because those are self-leveling and it will look very nice and very shiny when it's done. Hopefully, I don't know, first time I'm using it. I usually gonna use professional epoxy. I'm doing something that anybody can do at home, so I'm gonna show it. You're gonna need popsicle sticks for mixing and smearing, big mixing stick, scissors of course, a small cup. This small cup we're going to pour the leftover resin inside to test how it's dry. This is plastic because this can handle it. Sometimes they cannot handle this, so you have to find if those will be dangerous to plastic, you cannot use it. And we're going to need some painter tape just to tape the edges from underneath if we need it. So, and we need another important item, measuring cup. Those are 1 to 1. It's mean that from each one we're gonna have to put the same amount. So I have here measuring so I can measure the right amount. I will not use all those chart over here. I will just go by ounces. If I put 4 ounces for one, I will put for another 4 from the other. Easiest way, and then you just have to mix it. Let's start. So to start, I need to open my carbon fiber. I'm going to move everything. It's better that you have 2 tables. I'm using a small table that will fit right to the camera, so everything is more accurate. Let's open the carbon fiber. Now when you get carbon fiber, you're always going to have leftovers and extra loose strands. The thing is you can do is like put a piece of tape on it and it will just hold it in place. Okay, and this is the size that I want it to be. I want it to be able to lap the edges. I'm gonna make it very small. Up, almost lost the entire roll to the floor. It will be a mess if it's happening. Now, you need a good, very sharp scissor to cut carbon fiber. Usually they call them diamond scissors. Those are just regular scissor from Harbor Freight. They cut it excellent. The problem is that after you use it couple times, that's it, they're junk. You cannot really use them anymore. Okay, so the carbon fiber that I wanted is removed. I'm just going to make sure, yeah, make sure I did not have overlapping pieces, and I'm going to roll it back. And this piece is ready. I'm just going to move it away. Okay, this is out. Now, we have our carbon fiber exactly on the size of the table. You can see it's already very pretty without me doing anything to it. This is the bigger weave. So now I'm going to show you a trick. Trick that make life very simple. Put aside your carbon fiber for a minute. Make sure this don't have any dust on it. What we're going to do now is I thought about spraying, but look at this, brand new spray, no cap. Stupid California. This is what happened when you buy stuff in California. We're gonna skip that. Let's do a different thing. I'm gonna go look for a sprayer to attach to my bottle. I'll be back in a second. Okay, got one that actually works right here, so it saved me the looking. I'm spraying all around the edges, pretty good amount of it, and I have to do it on the back as well. Okay, now it will be nice and sticky. And now I will show you guys a trick. We're gonna grab our carbon fiber. I know it's not in the center of the camera because I moved it. And what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna place this on the center and press it down. What happened now, it's we actually stick the carbon fiber to the table to exactly where we want it to be, and it will stay over there. I just took some misperfection out. And now what I want to do is see if I can overlap as much as possible. Yes, I can. I will overlap the edges as much as possible before I'm going to cut them. And this is why you need the spray, so you can stretch a little bit your carbon fiber and bring it to exactly where you want it. So you're going to have a nice, beautiful, rounded surface. Okay, so now the table, the edges, I already set pretty nice. I'm actually very happy with it. And then I'm going to do one more thing. I'm just going to do this real quick. I was just looking to see that we are recording. If not, it's going to be a big problem. Now, we need to overlap some of them in, but we want to cut some of the excess. We don't want to have too much excess of carbon fiber. Just there's no point for it. It's a little bit dirty job because when you cut carbon fiber, this thing loves to go anywhere it can. It's just crazy. And I don't want it to come back on the front edge. And it's funny because my scissors are already gone. They just don't want to work anymore. It's me that the carbon win again. And now what we're going to do, I'm just folding everything into the table, all the leftover. And it will just stay there because we put the adhesive. And don't forget glove. Please do not work without gloves. At this point you don't really need any face mask or anything because we did not do anything that required it yet. Okay, now let's clean this. Okay, look, I could actually leave this as it is and it's already beautiful. But this is not what we want. After we put the resin on it, it will look a million times better. So, let's clean this. Okay, our table start looking very good. Now, all this junk have to go. Move everything around. What I did, I just fold it in to keep it inside of the nylon bag. Is the best way to do that because then static, it will not pull anything up right now. So it's pretty good. Now, what I'm doing, I'm just tapping everything with a napkin. Okay, make sure everything is good. Okay, this is cannot be any better than that. Okay, and now we have our table kind of ready for resin. This was that simple. Let's look on the camera how long it took so far. This thing so far took 10 minutes to do. I will pause the video so I can connect two videos together so we can show more zoom in. Okay, I'm back. I end up putting some painter tape on the bottom here for a very simple reason. I will explain it in a second. Okay, so we have the measuring cup, and meanwhile I put a different painter tape on the bottom here. I put this because this will absorb better than the nylon and all the extra resin. We have the mixing cup. We mix in 1:1, so it means whatever amount that we put from the epoxy we're going to put from the hardener. So let's example, say on the measuring cup we're going to 3 ounces and one, we're going to go all the way up to the 6 ounces with the other. Instead of measuring twice 3 times, you just have the measuring here. There's also here 2:1, 1:1. This is pretty easy to use. If you don't know how to use it, it's super complicated and have completely no sense whatsoever. So just go by ounces. You use 2 ounces of resin, 2 ounces of catalyst. So you can 1, 2, and 4. Okay, let's start mixing it and I'll show you how it's work. This is pretty stable and nice. So we start with the base resin. This is the resin. I will fill it up a little bit. Let's see. Stuff falling here. Okay, now it's hard to look what I'm doing and look at camera at the same time. So we are right now at about 2 ounces. When I hold it straight, it's reaching to about 2 ounces, and I will start with 2 ounces and 2 ounces and put it on and then add more. This is still a little bit lower than the 2 ounces. I will add a little bit more. You want to be very accurate when you do that. Okay, put it on a straight and level, and we are at it's gonna jump up to 2.5 ounces. It's okay, I can work with that. I think it will be good. I'm gonna go here, and now we put in the catalyst, the hardener, or the curing agent as they call it from this company, and I will pour it until I reach my 5 point. That's it. Now I'm 5 ounces flash over there. Very, very important when you deal with resin. Put gloves. This thing going anywhere. So have a paper towel. Wipe everything as you do that, because if it's not gonna dry and it's just gonna go over anything you're gonna touch later. So those one are set. Now this is how it's look. You have to mix it pretty good. You have to mix it for about 3 minutes. When you start mixing it, it will have bubbles inside. Use it with a big stick to mix it, not with a smaller one. And the reason is, when you're mixing this, you're going to create bubbles, and you will start a chemical reaction of the resin to start drying. If you're not going to do that this way, and you're just going to pour it and mix a little bit and say, oh, it's look ready, it's not ready. When you mix it also, you cannot go crazy or mix it with the machine, because there is bubble. You see those bubbles that form right there? Those bubbles will come back and bite you. So you have to be very careful. I'm mixing it right now. You need to have it again mix for 3 minutes, and after we mix it for 3 minutes, we're gonna let it stay. I don't know if you guys could see, but I have small bubbles flying here around it. It creates so much bubbles. You look inside and you see bubbles. Those bubbles will disappear when you go with a heat gun and you heat it up. Those bubbles will disappear completely. So we're still gonna work with it, mix it more, couple more minutes. I'm talking while I'm doing it, so you will see more or less what is the time that you need to mix it. Okay, now it's have a lot of bubbles still, but it's still, when you see the color, it's look very clear, but with a lot of bubbles. I want it to be mixed a little bit better. Better this thing will be mixed, you will have a million times better result. I was reading the reviews about how to do that and how people actually fail and say that the resin was not hard enough. And one of the reasons that the resin was not hard enough was that it was the wrong ratio and the person did not mix it enough. After you mix it for a while, next thing to do, is to just let it sit. You have to let it sit, and what will happen right now, the bubbles will start going up, and all the bubbles are going to go up, going to end up disappearing and go out. Now, while we're waiting for this, the bubble to go out, what we're doing is this. We're flipping it up, and I will show you a trick that it's pretty cool. We have a small brush here, and what I'm doing, I'm just brushing epoxy on the bottom edge of it. I'm just making this thing wet because this is area that the resin that I'm pouring will not reach to. So I'm already making it wet, so when it gets covered, this thing will actually already be there and be sticky, and it's going to look cool even from the side. You're not going to see floating pieces on the back. So just taking a small, those are disposable brush. You can get those at 99-cent store, Harbor Freight. It's literally entire bag of them for like $1 or so. And what you do, you're brushing those in. I'm brushing everything inside, and I see that this carbon fiber is super thirsty. It's sucking everything into it. 2 seconds after I apply it, it's already got swollen into the carbon fiber. It's very good because it means that the carbon fiber is absorbing the resin, and I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, so this was the first round just to seal everything in. Okay, I don't need to worry about it anymore. I will flip it back. Okay, now we have here the resin, the bubble start going up a little bit. I'm gonna give it another small mix. Then what we do is that. Let me see real quick. Yes, we're good. I was just checking that the camera not gonna shut off midway. We are pouring it from the center slowly and letting gravity pull the resin to the side to exactly where we need them to be. It's already start looking really cool. I see it's pulling too much to one direction. I can tilt it so it's going to pull all direction evenly. Don't forget to wipe the edges. You're going to have a lot of resin on the edges that you really need to use. Okay, so now first glance I see that I need more resin. This is definitely not going to be enough for what I want. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this sideways so everything will go to the bottom, and then I'm going to take a piece of cardboard. I'm going to get something real quick and show what I'm doing. Okay, I got and grab a business card, and what I'm doing, I'm actually going to start turning it and smearing the resin all over. The reason I'm doing it this way to start right now, I'm trying to save on the material. The resin material is not super cheap, and I want it also to get pushed in. So this is going to be my first layer, and I want my first layer to go all the way through and get to the edges nicely. And so far this thing have very low odor. I don't smell anything, and usually I'm pretty sensitive for this, and I'm doing it without a mask so I can talk and explain what I'm doing. So if you see that when you do yours, please put a mask, a carbon mask for painting. It will be much safer. You will live longer. Yeah, it's already look awesome, but I still want it to look even better than that. It's nice, but again, we're trying to make something super cool looking and learning the process. So what I'm doing right now, I'm smearing the resin so the resin can fit in the entire area of the carbon fiber, all the small cavities. When you do that usually with carbon fiber, the carbon fiber, you take a lot of resin into it, into the fiber itself. I want to get to the point that the edges here will kind of be wet, and it's all going to look one chunk of plastic. Okay, so far this was the first layer, and I see bubble keep coming up. I'm not going to bother too much about them because I'm going to mix another batch to make it thicker. So we did 2.5 and 2.5, and I'm going to repeat it, 2.5 ounces and another 2.5 ounces. Let's see, let's set it up on the right angle so I can see it better. And we are at 2.5 wiped. Now, here is the secret. The same way that you learn how to do this, you're going to be able to do your RC car bodies or kind of anything else you can do later. Bicycle frame, you can almost do anything. The idea is that you learn how to work with compound materials such as epoxy. You can even make jewelry out of it. You add some color. There is special dyes to put in this. And you can see right now all those small tiny bubbles all over the place. And I'm going to show in a minute how to get rid of them. But meanwhile, this needs to get mixed. Let me jump a little bit here, mix it, and come back and video again. Okay, I zoomed in a little bit for you guys, and I have the second batch ready. I'm just pouring it in the center. And it's already flowing much faster. And one of the reasons it's flowing very, very fast right now is because it's already soaked into the carbon fiber. Okay, so far we used 10 ounces of resin, and now what I'm gonna do is again smear this all around just so we have a nice even surface. And I want it to get all the way to the edges, and I want it to drip down from the edges. This is how I know that I have entire coverage of the carbon fiber on my edges. That's it. Now I have liquid falling from the edges. It's look pretty nice. And one of the things that I'm going to do right now is give it a turn and just actually push more material there. One more. Okay, perfect. So now the edges is getting pretty nice and wet. Then what I can do is actually I can take some more material that's already fell down and put it back. This is the cool thing about epoxy resin. When it takes time to cure, you can lift some of it and put it back. Okay, so now just by looking at it, I can see that it's kind of self-leveling, really nice. I'm pretty happy that it's doing it. I'm just trying to add more resin to the edges, just so I have beautiful round edges. You can actually touch it by hand. It's not I have the glove, so it's not a big deal. Okay. And let's give it another turn. And so far, it just looks beautiful. I'm super happy with what even I got right now. If it's just stay like this, it will be very cool. But I'm going to the next step. I'm going to heat it up to get rid of the bubbles. So now to the critical part, to get rid of some bubbles. And let's see if it's actually going to work to use the heat gun. I set it up on the heat already. Oh, it's worked like a miracle. As soon as you heat it, the bubble just disappeared. This is unbelievable. Any area that I touch, the bubble disappeared completely. I wish that we can done that with automotive paint. It's got completely like a layer of glass right now. All the small area got completely with bubbles, got bubbles disappear, fish eyes bubbles, all gone. So I'm guess for this project for now, this kind of going to be it, but let me take the camera and show how it's look on top so you guys see what I'm talking about. Look at the ceiling of my shop and look at the light. You see the light is completely reflecting and the light bulbs are straight. It's mean that this is almost flawless. It's still drying, so we'll wait until it's dry completely and look at it tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My tomorrow will be in 2 seconds, so stay tuned. Okay, so here it is. It's finished. And my Lazy Susan is turning again. Even though I'm probably going to end up putting another layer of resin later. I'm not sure. I got one bubble right there. But I don't think it's a bubble. I think it's a piece of carbon fiber that just decided to stand up. But it's still, I end up with a very cool carbon fiber Lazy Susan for my videos. See you on my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ask me anything if you need to know about this process. RC Monster Garage Motor Style Shop. Bye.